Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. I am working on a 2-page layout for 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and we are doing this double-page sketch by Kim Moore, and there's one focal point photo over here in hers and 4 smaller ones there. Mine's going to be a little bit different, but I am using that basic idea. She also included sizes for her strips of paper, which would be helpful if you were actually doing that, which I started to do and changed my mind. So I'll show you what I've decided to do instead. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos here. I typed out my journaling. These are of the memorial, the waterfalls in New York City at the site of the Twin Towers. And so I did a little research about those waterfalls and wrote about that there. I have my 2 sheets of paper ready that I have gutted them and backed the white with some blue. And I was going through my papers trying to find several strips that would work to go across there, and I had this sheet left. And I thought, wait a minute, it has strips going across already. Why not just use that? And I decided that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and map my photos, get that journaling cut out, and glue a couple things down. And then I will be back to finish up. I think this one might go pretty quickly. We'll see. And you can see that I have matted 2 photos on this scrap of red cardstock. It's from Stampin' Up, but I don't know what particular color red it is. It seemed at the time to coordinate best with the red in the patterned paper. Looking at it now, I'm not so convinced about that, but I don't think anybody's going to really pay attention to that. So on the right, I want these photos centered left to right. I'm not concerned about up and down, but I did want them centered left to right. So I just measured and found the center there. And I will have these 2 photos at the top meet in the middle and then line the bottom up with those as well. So I think this one, I had to trim something off. But there's my journaling that I've typed up. I just did a little research and typed some of that up. Excuse me. I'm getting over a bad cold and my voice is not cooperating very well. My journaling says, in part, the memorial at Ground Zero opened on September 11th, 2011. The design, chosen from over 5,000 submissions, consists of 2 waterfall pools that sit in the footprint of the Twin Towers, hundreds of white oak trees, and a single ornamental pear tree that survived the attacks in 2001. And then I go on to say that one of the designers said that the pools represent absence made visible, and that became my title. So I did use the border sticker from that 12 by 12 sheet of stickers. I think it's from Simple Stories. And it added just a little bit of something. I don't have a lot of embellishment for these pages, and so I wanted something, and that was the best something I could come up with. These navy blue letter stickers are what I'm using for the title. Every single one of them has to be glued down because the adhesive on the back is not reliable. I don't have you watch all of that. It did take quite a bit of time. And I right justified it along the edge of the photo mat there. But absence made visible, and when I had that done, it created just the right little spot to layer these 2 stickers. And then I wanted something else, so I had pulled out a little container of some Vicky Bouton papery pieces. They're nice and thin, easy to layer. And I decided to layer that label on one of the 3x4s and that goes at the top on the left page. And then I tilt the one at the right, on the far right. And that's where I write about, I write about the one, or about what you see in the photo, which is, there was a rose, and it mentions one of the victims' unborn babies. And I just wrote a little bit because that has always touched me each time I have visited this memorial. This is pretty thin, and since it's going to be layered on that striped paper, I just back it with a scrap of white, because otherwise you could kind of see those lines through it, and that bothered me. So I just tuck it in at the side there and do a little bit of writing. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll come back. I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you're one of my regular viewers, thanks so much for being here. This, just a reminder, this is for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and the sketch was by Kim Moore. I will show you the sketch one more time toward the end. There, for some reason, these two photos weren't lining up just right, and so the white of the background was showing through, so I just used my navy blue marker and drew a line over that area, and you can't tell at all, so that solved that problem. I'm debating on whether or not I should add some enamel dots, so maybe you can let me know in the description, or in the comment section, if you think I should. I did add these two stickers. Well, it was one sticker that I cut in half, and I wish I had one more so I could put one at the bottom, but I didn't. That's okay. So anyway, if you think I should add some enamel dots, let me know in the comments. This will be sitting out on my desk for a little while, so there'll be time to do that if I decide that's what I'm gonna change. So I tuck this half here, which I do like. I tuck the other half on the far right, right above where it says never forget. So that kind of highlights that. And I'm just about done. There are still shots coming up. Thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate you watching. I love it if I could hear from you in the comments, or if you hit the like. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.